Okay, good morning. And today we'll be seeing the chapter ecosystem. What is ecosystem? It is a functional unit of nature. And in this chapter, we'll be discussing about the ecosystem and its energy flow and their interrelationships. And the term ecosystem was coined by A.J. Tansel in 1935. And ecosystem is considered to be an interactive system where biotic and abiotic components. Biotics are nothing but living organisms, and abiotic it is non-living, which with energy with each other via energy exchange and flow of nutrients. An ecosystem is divided into two. One is natural, another is artificial. Natural, they are maintained and they are maintained by themselves and operate without any interference of the man. But whereas artificial, they are maintained and manipulated by man for different purposes. Natural aim can be divided into two, that is terrestrial and aquatic. Terrestrial example, full forest, grassland, desert, etc. And whereas aquatic, it is marine and freshwater. Now let us see about the components of ecosystem. There are two components. One is abiotic and biotic. Abiotic components include climatic factors and adaptive factors. Climatic factors like rain, light, wind, temperature, and whereas this adaptive factor includes soil, pH, minerals, and topography. And now let us see about the biotic components. Biotic components is of three types. The first is producers, consumers, and decomposers. Now let us see about producers. Producers, these are green plants and called as producers in ecosystem terminology. But in aquatic ecosystem, the phytoplanktons and some algae are the producers. But whereas in consumers, all animals which depend directly or indirectly on plants, that is autotrophs, for their food requirements and shelters are called as consumers. These are otherwise known as heterotrophs. And the last is decomposers. These are also called as saprobes or saprophytes or also mineralizers. And they depend on dead and decaying organic matters. And examples for decomposer is mold and mushrooms. They are the largest decomposers of the forest floor. And now let us see about the two important structural features of an ecosystem. The first one is species composition, another is stratification. What is a species composition? It is calculated by identifying and the enumeration of the plants and the animal species in an ecosystem. And whereas this stratification, it is a vertical distribution of species, different species occupying a different level at the tropic level. Like example, the tree covers the first layer or the vertical strata, and the shrubs covers the second, and whereas the herbs and the grasses, the bottom occupies the bottom layer. Now let us see about a pond ecosystem. A pond water, that is the abiotic component, constrains all the dissolved inorganic and organic matters, and the soil is deposited at the bottom of an ecosystem. That is pond water. And the solar input and the cycle of temperature, day length, and other climatic conditions regulates this rate of function of the entire pond. And here in pond ecosystem, the consumers are called as zooplanktons, which are free swimming and their bottom dwellers. And the decomposers are fungi, bacteria, and other flagellates found abundantly in the bottom of the pond. And whereas what happens here is the autotrophs converts the inorganic materials into organic materials with the help of solar energy, nothing but sunlight. And the heterotrophs consume the autotrophs, and the decomposers decompose it and mineralize the dead organic matters to release them back for the reuse